are live. What is going on, everybody? RogersBase here. Hello and welcome. Good morning and welcome to my live reaction to One Piece manga chapter 1153. I also believe we have an anime episode to react to a little bit later in the stream today, but I've been told this is a good chapter, so I'm excited to read it. Let's just jump right into this. 1153. This one is titled The Birth of Loki. It's currently up on Manga Plus. I don't see it. Oh, it is on Viz. And it says new chapter coming in 14 days. So we got a break after this one. So hopefully it's a good one. Okay, The Birth of Loki, 1153. Here we go. Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 37, The Daimyo of Ringo, Kikunojo, and Boss Ocho. Okay, so Kiko is the new, or Kiku I should say, is the new Daimyo of Ringo. Okay, we're getting some more information. I still can't believe we're on 37 of this cover story, but all right, let's get started. Continuing the flashback, here we go. Give me the good stuff. Prince Harold of Elbaf lived out his rather unhinged childhood years alongside Dory and Broggy. Look at the little kid version of them. He's got like a giant welt on his head, probably from smacking the other. Thanks to his innate size and strength, gifts from his ancient giant blood, and his noble status, he developed an inflated sense of self, and no one could stop him from growing into a royal pain. Everyone outside of Elbaf is so tiny and pitiful and boring. Man, seeing Harold looking like this is just so weird in his teenage years or whatever. Don't you agree? Well, of course, Your Majesty, you're exactly right. Okay, meanwhile, we're in the Bunt Kingdom, the New World. Come one, come all, and marvel at the 10-meter woman. Feel the earth tremble as she walks. Cover your ears when she barks thunder. A rare giant from the exotic land of Elbaf. Feast your eyes on Ida. Okay. You have a bunch of people running away as she just starts growling. Step away from the cage if you don't want to be hurt. Have we ever... Well, I'll keep reading. Let's see. Turning a giant into a sick sideshow? They've got some nerve. She's got a cool design, too, though. But... yeah... They thought that Elbaf was a joke? Well, who's laughing now? So clearly, all right, they freed her. Very, very nice. But who are you? No need to thank me. I'm the king of Elbaf, and I simply won't stand to see my homeland disrespected like that. And you can see her smacking him across the face. What? Your Majesty, King Harold, what is this little cuphead face he's making at the bottom? He's shocked by the fact that she's smacking him? What? Turn the ship around. I need to apologize. So many people were hurt back there. What? Are you insane? You care about that mini kingdom of tiny humans? You see her going, shaking her fist in the background. Do I have to hit you again? So she's got a little bit of Nami powers then. She's able to smack through the hockey. King Harold, they saved my life when I washed up on their shore. And they even gave me a job, too. They were kind enough to help me make a living until I was fully healed. What do you mean, tiny humans? Just because you happen to be born huge and coincidentally are strong and brutish, you actually think that makes you better than those humans? How can you be so arrogant? It's pathetic. Man, he's learning. Okay. This is why everyone else thinks that all giants are as barbaric and brutish as Elbaf. Dang. So she just wanted her circus job. People were helping her. Just because I was born huge? You can see they're going off to another kingdom, fixing everything around, and he's just sitting on the ship going... And they're thanking all the people again. The guy who's the ringmaster with the top hat and one of the other dancers, trapeze artists or whatever. Should we just set sail, King Harold? Why are you all just spacing out? Go and help her, you ninnies. That town's as tiny as a model. It's easy work. So now they're going to go fix everything back up. It's like a Lego set. Exactly. Their method of construction is completely different from ours. We should tell everyone about it when we return to Elbaf. I want to bring home some of their spices. I've never tasted flavors like this before. Notice how hardy their fabric is? You can see him looking back. And yet, it's so fine. These humans are more skilled than we ever realized. You've got another king over there, too. He's got all the little humans on his arm. And they're doing, oh, that's cute. They're doing the little Nika dance. You have to see things from their eye level, Harold. Interesting. Another interesting thing I will mention in my review. Make note of that, page 6 and 7. Nothing in the world is meant to be destroyed. Okay. I was born on Samwanai Island in the South Blue. Now, after some twists and turns, my life's path brought me here. So you crossed the Serpent of Blood? You mean the red line? Yeah, and that's why I can't go back home. Then come to Elbath. I promise we're not as barbaric as you say. Oh? Well, maybe I was mistaken about you. You see, King Harold's changed. Yeah, it's creepy, and I bet it won't last. Meanwhile, all right, we're still back to Elbath 105 years ago. I wish to atone for all my countless crimes. What's gotten into you, Harold? I may be out of the country more often than I'd wish, but it is only to join hands with our neighbors and ask them to teach us their culture. If we learn from the rest of the world, we can make our land and our lives even richer. But remember, Dory and Broggy are still raising hell out there. Yeah, well, they're off on the island. They're fine. They're in Little Garden. They're doing their own thing. Don't worry. They'll come back later. They're good friends of mine, but they've always been eccentric. They're cordial with humankind and follow a code of honor. And it doesn't hurt that they can fight, of course. But if they pose too much of a threat to other nations, we might have to rein them in. Zabba-ba-ba-ba! What a turnabout! Boja-ja-ja-ja! Meeting new people took him on a journey. Harold? No. Elbath is blessed with good luck. I also just want to make a quick note of a lot of the little interactions in these scenes, like where he's cleaning the shark and they're, reconstructing everything. It's a super cute chapter. All right, here we go. Who is this? I turned the page and all of a sudden I'm seeing, who is this lady? Wow, okay. We'll get there. All right, page 10. For example, by sending diplomats back and forth, we can help deepen the ties and friendship between nations. I see. So we're each taking hostages then. You can see him writing in his journal. Well, don't say it like that. It just means that countries can't get to be friends unless the people in them are connected somehow. Okay, meanwhile, Elbath 81 years ago. Fishman Island, Eastern Elbath. The baby's been born, huh? Congratulations, Harold and Ida. Oh, I know where this is going. Oh, no. Oh, no. Harold. Oh, I can't blame him, though. I'm looking over at Estrid on the other page. But I know where this is going. Congratulations, Harold and Ida. Thank you all. And now, Ida and I... No, you are forbidden from marrying her. The royal line must remain pure of blood. I'm sorry, Ida. It galls me that it has to come to this, but this is just how the culture works. You can't get emotional and fight against it. But don't worry, you're always welcome in our village, Ida. Dang. As long as you live in the same country as Daddy, you'll be happy. Right, Harudin? Dang, man. Oh, jeez. Oh boy. Okay. This is your true betrothed, Harold. Elbath Brewer's Village prestigious daughter, Estrid. Estrid's blood is both pure and ancient. You can see a little bit of Loki in her, though. Wait a minute. I'm sure she's going to have like purple hair or something like that. I was born in the Brewer's Village to the north, and I studied geomancy. Okay? She is the one worthy of being our queen. It is my fate to love you for the rest of my life. Yo, forget about all that, woman and child of the East. Huh? No, that's... Harold's already stumbling. She's like, forget all about them. I'm your new wife now. Loki's mom is something else. Okay. Good heavens. The spirit is escaping to the east. Your good luck is getting away. We must close those windows at once. Oh, so she... Oh, no. Oh, no. She's a rock girl? She's one of the girls who puts the rocks on their shelves and it gives you different vibes? Oh, no. She's like, no, we got to close the window and spirits are escaping. He's like, what are you talking about? That mirror, it's in the 5-star kill position. Destroy it at once. Oh, no, 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 no. You know immediately Estrid would ask you, what's your sign? What does it mean? When were you born? What time of day? Oh, no. She did say she studies geomancy, though, but she's a rock girl. Okay. What the heck is this? Their horse? This is Asla, the horse of good fortune. It's a gift from my clan and the perfect mount for you, King Harold. I have no doubt that this horse will bring you great luck. It's enormous. And why does it have 8 legs? Guards, bring all the jewels and gold in the treasury to my chambers. This is to ensure that fortunes of wind and earth are sent in His Majesty's direction. Is it now? Also inform the scullery maids that from this day forward, the king and I will be using fine silver to eat all our meals. Is she just after luxury then? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Meanwhile, about 70 years ago, in an era where the rigors of the sea made it difficult to maintain trade between islands, Elbaf's skill at navigation was the envy of other nations. This is a good, nice, long, chunky chapter of flashback. A lot of good stuff here. There's a star to the north that never moves called the Pole Star. Okay. Also, making a note of this. Very cool that they're bringing this up. Ties into the stuff with Nami and directions, but okay. You said you met a mermaid, King Harold. I have. At last. And fishmen, too. In the kingdom where those with fish blood live, their king has a newborn heir named Neptune. All the creatures of the sea, not just the mermaids and the fishmen, were engaged in a grand celebration that spanned the sea floor. Okay. Aurust Castle, Elbaf, 63 years ago. What's also crazy, too, is the fact that, like, he witnessed the birth of Neptune. That's pretty wild. That goes to show, again, just how far back we are in the story. He's witnessing the birth of Shirahoshi's dad. That's crazy. All right, Aurust Castle, Elbaf, 63 years ago. This was while Harold was away from home. Okay. Congratulations, my queen. It's a very healthy boy. And his name is Loki. The king and I decided on it. Now show me the baby, okay? Whoa! Whoa! Little demon baby? What in the world? It's terrifying. Your Majesty? It's horrid. What is that? That's no son of mine. Well, I mean, it is. Let's not pull a wicked. Let's keep it going. Please, Your Majesty, try to remain calm. Are you serious? Tell the kingdom that it was stillborn. You can't be serious. It's accursed. I mean, just look at that baby. It's a monster. The prince... Oh, poor little baby Loki. Oh, no. The Prince of Elbaf grasped for the empty air, but no hands reached out to envelop his own. Dang! From his moment of birth? Stop, Your Majesty, please. He's the royal... Bro, what? Your Majesty, please. He's the royal heir. The most unfortunate of all living creatures is the one whose very existence is denied by its mother at the moment of its birth. Do you hear me? I bore no child. Do not tell a soul about this. Did she chuck it off the sky? Like down to the underworld? What are you planning to do? Well, I'm going back home, and I never want to bear another child. Your Majesty, head guardsman. Down in the underworld. What about the underworld? Dang! Dang, and he's still holding on for dear life? Oh, man, that panel is brutal, dude. With him climbing back up the tree, grasping in the cold. Poor Loki. Oh, man. And oh, man. He's like, just trying to hold on to the tree after she abandoned him. Queen Estrid fell ill. Get rid of the child. There was a prophecy before it was even born. The prophecy said that King Harold would one day be killed by his very own son. Not that madness again. And while Harold was busy banging his head against the problem of national relations, because it says here, the world government stepped in to block our path. Why can't countries be free to decide for themselves? Meanwhile, can I see the baby too? He's your brother. He's not your son, so he's not my brother. Oh, you're even sweet like that. Oh, man, so Ida's still around? Oh, man! All of the misfortunes that would fall upon Elbaf to come would be known as Loki's curse. Wow. To be continued. One Piece manga chapter 1153 end. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm going to just jump right into my review for this one because I have a lot of thoughts. First and foremost, this is an incredibly well done flashback chapter. There is so much information here. We went from Harold's childhood to meeting Harudin's mother, getting her backstory, being in the circus, and her basically helping Harold to understand humans. You meet Loki's mother, you get the birth of Loki, and you even have child Harudin talking about the birth of his new brother and saying he's no brother of mine if he's not your son. There's a lot of good stuff here. Plus, you get the information about Neptune, right? The birth of Neptune, finding out that Harold was present for that and had a relationship with the fishmen. You get the whole thing with the pole star and how that ties into the stuff with like the navigation in the series, which I also find very interesting. There's some good humor here with the stuff with Ida as well. The other thing I wanted to bring up, this was the one on page 6 and page 7 that I said I was going to note when I get to my review portion. This thing right here where Ida said, notice how hardy their fabric is. It's so fine. The humans are more skilled than we realized. And then, you have to see things from their eye level, Harold. Nothing in the world is meant to be destroyed. Who was on Elbaf that we saw in the past who killed one of the elders of Elbaf, and how all this stuff afterwards, right, was known as Loki's curse? And this character eventually had a connection with Big Mom, potentially being betrothed to Lola, and then Lola said no, 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 and left. And Loki was in love with her. There's a lot of potential connections coming up in the next few chapters. But what is the dream of Big Mom? The whole dream of Big Mom is to have a tea party with everyone at eye level, with all the races at eye level. So during Loki's birth, Big Mom is present within Elbaf. We're not seeing that side of things, but we know that Big Mom was present in Elbaf during this time. So I am very, very curious, because I'm assuming based on them ending the chapter with the thing, all misfortunes come to be known as Loki's curse, all this other stuff. My assumption is that we are going to see the Elbaf side of the Big Mom disaster, where she kills one of the chiefs, and we actually end up seeing what happens to the kids. Did she actually eat all of them? Did some of them end up going to the government? Like, I think next chapter in particular has a very, very, very high likelihood for some excellent potential for answering some answers that we still never got answered all the way back in the Big Mom story arc. But also, this stuff with Loki is just tragic. I mean, we were joking about it last chapter, right? The idea of like Loki for Straw Hat after Luffy said, oh, why don't you join my crew? And then that way you'll be able to come work with us. Look, what's the one thing that all the Straw Hats have? Tragic backstories. You can't get more tragic or more unfortunate than a character who was thrown away at birth. That is absolutely brutal. And the design, too. See, my assumption, right, when we're seeing him in baby form, and he's got, like, the demon eyes, and he's got all this other stuff going on, like, he looks scary here. I bet you, when we see Loki and Loki takes off the bandages, the eyes are going to match his body now as a human, and he's going to be seen as, like, one of the most beautiful of all the giants once the world ends up seeing him. There's just a lot of really interesting stuff that's in this one. Also, the detail in just, like, the frostbite as he's climbing up the tree. All the stuff even with his mother and being from a different kingdom. Like, I know at first I was like, whoa, she's really gorgeous and stuff, but clearly she's a horrible human being. she's not a human being. She's a giant. But still in all, she's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Money grubbing, terrible, wanting to live in the lap of luxury, looks down on everybody, geomancy, rock girl. Terrible. Ida is seriously much nicer. And I also am very interested in the fact that have we seen Ida currently in the story? I don't believe that we have. And is there an explanation? Maybe I'm just forgetting, because there's obviously a lot of stuff that's happening in Elbaf, but I don't believe we have seen Ida. I don't believe we have seen Ida. And I am wondering if we are going to see her in the current story. Because it's not like she's dead, is she? I can't remember whether or not Haruden said his mother is dead. I feel like that might have been something that was brought up. But if she's not, I do wonder how this is going to fold into the story. And the fact that she's already like on board with this. She knows about Loki and she's like, can I see the baby? You know, he's your brother. I want to see the baby. I'm almost wondering if she is still alive, if there's going to be like a moment of connection between her and the adult Loki. You know what I mean? I feel like there's potential for that. Or maybe her being that connective tissue, because obviously his father is dead. His mother completely abandoned him. So I wonder if it's going to be some type of situation of being like, I'll be your surrogate mother. It doesn't matter that you were born looking like that. Like, I'll love you no matter what. You're still the son of Harold. A lot of interesting stuff being set up here. But man, Estrid is something else. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I loved all the stuff with the circus and that backstory as well. And like how she was going along with it. And at first it seemed like she needed to be saved. But in actuality, no, they gave her a job. Seeing the young Dory and Broggy and then like him explaining as they were adults, like, all right, they're getting a little too carried away. Let them go do their own thing. There's some really, really good stuff in this chapter. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. And it moved the plot along really nicely. And it's given us exact dates for things. Again, I really love the fact we went from 109 to 105 to 81 to 70 years ago to the birth of Loki. I mean, we covered a lot of Elbaf here. And again, it doesn't feel like it was rushing. I don't feel like, sometimes in certain flashbacks, I feel like Oda feels like he's rushing a little bit to get to what he needs to get to. I don't feel that here. I feel like he's moving at a pretty good pace. I think we're going to have I'm assuming when this gets adapted to the anime, this will be a whole episode just dedicated to this. Which is good, like the life of Harold. But I feel like we're getting through a lot of stuff. The fact that Harold was gone too, when she throws Loki off the tree down to the underworld and abandons the kid and tells everyone that potentially, oh, the kid was stillborn, like I didn't bear any child, I'm getting out of here, I'm taking the riches, I'm going. I do wonder what's going to happen when Harold comes back. And again, when Harold comes back, he's going to have to find out what happens with Big Mom as well. Because again, the Haruden we're seeing right here is clearly the Haruden at the same age when Big Mom was present. Because we saw the young Haruden in her flashback. Connecting a lot of good stuff here. Connecting a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed this. I still, in my heart of hearts, believe, even if Big Mom is not present in Elbaf physically, right? Because she's in the bottom of a volcano in Wano right now. I do still feel like he's got an opportunity here to not only, like I said, flesh out all the stuff that actually happened back then, but also to flesh out more of the stuff with like Loki as a teenager, Loki getting older, Loki falling in love with Lola, that whole betrothal, how that came to be. If Loki ever, as a child, like met Big Mom, or if that was just later in life. There's a lot of really interesting stuff here. Again, I'm standing by it, man. Elbaf has been really, really, really solid in terms of fleshing out the overall story, being interesting in its own right, not introducing too many new characters, like pretty much only introducing the people that need to be there, right? Loki's mom, Haruden's mom. We're not really getting a lot of other new characters. In fact, he's further fleshing out characters we've already met with like bringing up Dory and Broggy and the stuff with Haruden. Wow. Also, that panel at the end on page 16 of Loki like climbing up the tree, that doesn't even look like a One Piece panel to me. That almost looks like something out of Demon Slayer. I'm wondering like what Oda's inspiration for Baby Loki was. Because to me, I don't know if it's just that like I'm Demon Slayer brained after reading the manga, but I feel like this is Baby Muzan. Doesn't this look like Baby Muzan? To anybody out there who reads Demon Slayer, this seems so much like Baby Muzan, at least design-wise. Also, didn't you want to say something about page 6 and eye level? I did earlier. I brought up that the whole thing with Big Mom was that Big Mom's dream, right, was to have the tea party with everyone on eye level. That's the whole thing that I brought up earlier. That was what she said, dating all the way back to what's it called? Whole Cake Island. So I think the fact that it's brought up here in conversation between Harold and Ida, I find kind of fascinating. And again, I'm wondering like if Big Mom ends up meeting them, gets the dream from them. You know, because again, we see her kill one of the, not Jarl, but the other one, Jorl or whatever. We see her kill him in her flashback as a kid, but we still don't know what other relationship she has with the other people within Elbaf. And my assumption is that's going to come out a little bit later on during this flashback. I was not fully expecting a Harold flashback in this sense. I thought a Loki flashback made sense, but having like all of his life being fleshed out as well, and his wives, and it's good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Oda's been on a roll with One Piece so far. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I just feel bad for poor little baby Loki. Well, before we get to some super chats, before we get to theories, before I end up reading what people thought about this chapter, I do want to open this up and see what James drew for the thumbnail this week. So give me one quick second. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to see. Hold on a minute there. Oh, also, I wanted to ask you guys a question while we're doing this. I wanted to ask you guys a question. I'm debating moving the One Piece streams from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And the reason why I'm thinking of doing this is because obviously with the time change, we end up starting the streams at 9 a.m. But I feel like sometimes we go live at 8 and it's slightly too early for people to join in. I feel like sometimes we start the streams at 8 and people want to read the chapter on their own before actually watching my reaction to the chapter. And I was thinking that delaying it by an hour would allow people the time, if they choose to read the chapter on their own, to read the chapter and then come into the stream. And then all of us that are reading for the first time, people are saying, yes, please push it back. Wow, that's the first thing I'm seeing from down in front. People are saying, please push it back. Because I was debating doing this. I was debating moving it at least 1 hour. No more than 1 hour. I say at least. At maximum, I should say 1 hour. Clax is saying maybe by 30 minutes, but it's a good point. I never thought about that. Right? Because then I feel like sometimes we start the streams right at 8. People are reading for the first time alongside us. Roberto even donated and said, yeah, 12 seems like a great time to start. I'm saying 12 because it's on Eastern Standard Time. So that's noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. my time. Seems like across the board, everyone is saying, yes, please do that. I like to read before the reactions. I like to read and digest and get things in my head and then watch the streams. 1 hour is good. I'm fine with an hour. Wow, unanimously. Holy mackerel. Unanimously across the board, we got people saying, you also get another hour of sleep, but I do think that 9 a.m. Pacific time is good. Okay, well then there you go. I'll make an announcement. I'll make a video. I have to do a channel update soon anyway, so I might actually just do a channel update and say, you know what? Let's start these at 9. All right, that's the plan then. Starting next week, we're going to start the One Piece streams at 9 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. then. Cool. And that'll be the same moving forward. I got to record a new intro thing, though. Because now people are going to watch that video. I can't play the channel trailer beforehand saying, starting at 8 a.m. every single week. Now it'll say, okay, 9 a.m. That'll be good. Satwik said, thank you. All right. Cool. People are down for this. Good. Yeah, I just assume, I feel like it is better to do it that way. So, excellent. Also, yeah, it won't be next week. I'll maybe upload a video next week while there's the break to then remind people, hey, just so you know, when we start the next One Piece chapter, it'll be at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Very good. Thank you, Roger Sama. I got that. All right. So anyway, let me open this up. I want to see what James drew for the thumbnail this week. Give me a brief second. I'm currently on my other screen. I'm on my work one. Southwick said it connects perfectly. All right. I'm glad you guys are on board. I'm glad I brought it up. All right. In about 6 months, then, I'm wondering if you'll be live at 4 a.m. my time. Well, the idea, which is the whole idea from doing it at 8 a.m. anyway, right, is that when the time changed, no matter what, we just stay at the same time. So the idea is to permanently change it to 9 a.m. Pacific time and always do it at 9 now. So, Oh my God, bro. Are you serious? Oh no. James. James. I cannot believe you did this. I kind of love it though, but I can't believe you did this. James. I don't want to play with you anymore. No. No. James. James. Came through with the Toy Story meme, chucking the baby down to the underworld. Oh my gosh. He drew Estrid throwing poor little baby Loki. This is crazy, James. This is actually crazy that you did this. I kind of love it though. I feel like nobody else is going to do this for the thumbnail. I think you are probably one and done, the only person who's going to do, I don't want to play with you anymore. Chucking him. Oh my gosh. He wanted to draw Hottie Estrid being a meanie. I mean, he did do a great job drawing Estrid. Also, good choice of having a little bit of the purple and a little bit of the pink in her hair, right, to go along with Loki's hair color. Very nice choice there, dude. That's crazy, James. Roberto super chatted and said, in the words of Michael Jordan, stop. Get some help, James. Oh, I cannot believe he drew this. I feel like, was his point in doing this maybe wanting to do like a sticker for an upcoming convention? I know. Oh, actually, it's a good thing to bring up. So next week is Anime Expo. James is going to be at Anime Expo with tons of goodies. He's going to have croc charms. He's going to have, what else? He's going to have like thumbnail art. He's going to have stickers. He's going to have all kinds of stuff. And he will also be visiting me after Anime Expo. So not this upcoming Monday, obviously, but a week from tomorrow, James and I are going to be doing a collab stream here on the YouTube channel while he's visiting. For whatever reason, he wanted to go to visit a bunch of delis here in LA. He's a big deli person. I also love deli food. So I'm like, bro, let's go get some deli food and then let's end up doing a live stream together. So that's what we're going to do. So you guys are going to get, not this Monday, but next Monday after Anime Expo, you're going to get a nice big collab stream with me and James. Maybe we'll play some games. Maybe we'll just hang out. Maybe do a Q&A or something. Maybe we'll do some giveaways. But we're definitely going to have a James collab stream. So look forward to that. He'll be here in person 1 week from now. It is kind of unfortunate that One Piece is going to be on break next week, because next week would have been a really good opportunity to maybe do like a live chapter reaction with him. Also, thank you, by the way, to Charles-san coming through with the membership. Nakama! Thank you very much, Charles. Appreciate that. That is a really good thumbnail, though. Man. And that's certainly going to get people talking. That's going to get people to click the thumbnail. See Astrid throwing down Loki. Oh, my goodness gracious, man. Well done. Well done. There's nothing more that needs to be said. That is great. Actually implementing the Toy Story meme into this chapter. Wild stuff. Absolutely wild stuff. All right. Let me hop into some of these super chats and then see what people are saying. We have Secret Turtle super chatting saying, I think Loki is actually a fourth ancient weapon tied to the red line, because they brought the thing with the blood certain, and will be the one to destroy it. 4 gods and 4 ancient weapons. Interesting. I mean, they did kind of, here, I'll go to the other screen because I don't want to show the manga panel and then potentially, get blown away by copyright. Give me a second. I want to go to the blood serpent panel that was brought up. Where is the red line blood serpent panel? Ooh, I'm looking for it. I believe it's one of the ones where he's sitting. Here we go. I was born on Samwanai Island in the South Blue, and after some twists and turns, my life brought me here. You crossed the serpent of blood. You mean the red line, which is why I can't go back home. I do think you might be onto something with like Norse mythology and the giant snakes and them referring to it as a serpent of blood. You might be cooking, actually, with the idea that like Loki will be the one to destroy the red line. I mean, we know at some point the Red Line will be destroyed. And we know that in some way the Straw Hats are going to be responsible. If Loki leaves with the Straw Hats for Final War and takes down the Red Line, and Luffy standing watch and all the rubble from the Red Line destroys Fishman Island, Charlie's prophecy comes true with the Straw Hat destroying Fishman Island. It's all coming to a head. I don't hate that idea. I absolutely don't hate that idea. We also, thank you, by the way, to Joshua Carlson coming through with the membership. Nakama, greatly appreciate that. And Roberto saying, you want to know what I just realized? There's actually another baby in One Piece that had the exact same story as baby Loki. And it's Chopper. Well, Chopper wasn't thrown away at birth. Chopper did get, thrown away into an icy kind of, what's it called? Why can't I think of the word? My brain is like not working currently. I haven't really had all my coffee. He was thrown into an icy exile, right? But Chopper, when he was born, he was just a normal reindeer. And then when he ate the human fruit, that's when he was ostracized. He wasn't like from birth told, we hate you, go away, you're terrible. Yeah. Also, thank you, by the way, Shushant came through with the super chat saying, the timelines in this chapter. Big Mom likely reached Elbaf the year Loki was born. Neptune was about 7 when Linlin devastated Elbaf. Ors Jr., Newgate, Kokoro, and Crocus, at this point in the story, are all now just children. And keep in mind that Witheria was also built around this time. Wow. So hold on, wait, let me look at this again. 70 years ago, you got them talking about Harold, right? Wow. Ors Jr., Newgate, Kokoro, and Crocus are kids at this point within the story. That is crazy when you think about it like that. Also, thank you, by the way, Shushant coming through, gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Nakama. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Wow. Also, Roberto said, keep in mind, when he was born with a blue nose. And then he was ostracized by his mother and was told to be at the back of the herd. Right, but he wasn't like exiled away from everybody. He was still with the herd. I thought the whole thing was that he left after he ate the human fruit. That was officially when he was told to be gone. I knew he had the blue nose because it was the reversal of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But he wasn't kicked out of the herd. He was just told to like sort of stay out of sight. Right? None of the other reindeer wanted to play their reindeer games with him. Yeah, he was still around until he ate the fruit. They didn't throw him off a cliff. I mean, yeah. Okay, I was right. I thought I was right. I'm like, there's no way that they threw poor Chopper off a cliff, and I didn't remember that, of course. Exactly. I mean, they do parallel slightly. To be fair, they were both ostracized as children, so that's a fair comparison. But I was like, end of the day, still, Chopper was not thrown off a cliff, Man, well, overall, really good chapter today. 1153 was really excellent. We have some Nakama comments over here over in the Discord. King Waffle saying, I loved this chapter. One Piece has some crazy backstories. So do you think that Loki has an ancestor with the same trait? Most of the characters with weird eyes have some type of innate power. With Luffy, Emu, Mihawk, etc. I do want to mention that I talked about Jormungandr coming into the story early on in Elbaf. If he really is the Red Line and does come to life, Luffy could still fight him and beat him, fulfilling the prophecy that he destroys the Red Line, bringing up kind of what we brought up earlier. Lastly, I saw some people theorizing on social media that Loki could be based on Surtur and how his flames are as hot as the sun, which could then be where Loki gets his sun god destruction form. My only question is how his hammer would come into play if true. I still think Loki's hammer is going to come into play in some way with Usopp's story in Elbaf. I don't know how, but knowing like Usopp using the hammer back in Thriller Bark, the whole thing with Persona, Usopp being the brave warrior of the sea, having some type of tie to Elbaf, I do think the hammer thing is going to come into play, most definitely. Joker Fallen One said, good morning, Roger, and what a great chapter. Loki with the demon eyes, or the leaks called it Sauron eyes. Oh, the leaks called it Sauron eyes. Oh. The big one thing for me was the Shadow Elders that told King Harold who he could marry. Maybe they're giants from the Heavens world, perhaps? Let's look back at them real quick. Let's go back. Because you do see them shaded out. Yeah, the assumption would be that maybe they would be of a higher tier. Maybe they are from the Heaven world. Maybe we're going to end up seeing more of them in the present day story. I mean, Jarl is still alive, so why not? That's a good thing to bring up. Yeah, I kind of glanced right past the shadow thing, but I think you might be right there. Good stuff. Was also loving the designs of both Ida and Estrid this chapter. I saw some people wondering if Mosa could be Ida, but who knows? Either way, love the streams, Roger. Thank you very much, Joker. We've got, who is this? Stefan Dog. Hey, what's up? Saying, how do you think Loki got born with those eyes in the first place? Do you think it just happened to be that way? I think it just kind of happened to be that way. I think he was just born that way. Yeah. If I had to guess, I think he was just born that way. Also, Rob said 37 volumes, and we're finally getting to the Wano stuff that I'm interested in. I do wonder if Oda is going to move on from this. I find it kind of ironic that Jarl and Yorl say that Elbaf is blessed with good luck, and that's right before Estrid shows up. Speaking of, what is the prophecy she speaks of? Harold was literally killed by his own men before Loki showed up. And why does she say that Harold will be killed by his own son? Did she simply prophesize how people would react to the incident? That's an interesting thing to bring up. Like, did she prophesize how people would react after they found out about Loki? Or did she just want to keep Harold away from Loki? Her saying that, like, oh, Harold is going to be killed by his own son, was that her way to sort of keep him away? Where even if they discover Loki in the other world, it doesn't matter. He wants no part of him. Yeah, I agree with Lucky. I think she was making it up to get rid of Loki. Exactly. That's how I read it too. Yeah. Also, Clack said, I just want to say how much I love Oda making flashbacks move the plot along. A lot of storytellers use them to fill in information without moving the plot forward, and they struggle to make them interesting and important to the overall plot. I have a lot to digest with this chapter. Yeah, I mean, again, it's a really, really solid one. Also, I had someone mention to me, I'm seeing over in the other chat, was there not an episode last week? Was there not a One Piece episode? Because I'm looking over on Crunchyroll. I thought there was an episode today and there was the episode from last week. No, there was a recap. Oh. There was a... Well, then maybe... You have 2 episodes to react to with the recap. It was a chopper recap. So it was essentially 11:33 and 11:34 today. Well, hold on then. Let me throw an idea by you guys. We got the one from 2 weeks ago. Let me throw an idea by you guys. How about, considering the fact that we're starting these streams now at 9 a.m. moving forward, how about, instead of reacting to the anime today, we should watch all 3, the 2 episodes from today, 11:33 and 11:34, and next week's, during next week's stream. And we'll go live at the time we will normally go live to get people used to the time. So then that way we can go live at like 9 a.m. We do the whole rest of the Kuma flashback next week as part of a dedicated One Piece reaction stream. That also gives me time to set up all the stuff with the green screen and make everything look good. Because as many of you know, if you're watching any of my other streams, I've been setting up the streams to then have my 4K aesthetic. So if we're doing 4K gaming streams, we could do that. And next week, we can get people used to the 9 a.m. time, right? Get everybody in here, do a triple anime reaction, and then let people know that the week after, we'll do the next chapter. I think that'll be a good idea. I think that's a good idea. Because I think if we go into the middle of the anime episode right now, and we're doing 2 of these, and people end up coming into the stream, I think there's a lot of people who want to see the reaction to the Loki chapter. And obviously, this is a really solid chapter on its own. I feel like sometimes it's nice to have the anime as a buffer in case there wasn't enough to talk about or there wasn't an interesting enough chapter. But I feel like this chapter alone is quite nice. There's a lot of stuff to go over here. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to leave this one here. We're going to do a triple anime reaction next week during the time we're normally going to go live at 9 a.m. Have all 3 of the episodes, wrap up the flashback, because that'll be the end of the Kuma flashback, I believe, right? That way I could do a whole video reacting to all the episodes. I think people will really like that. That'll be really good. And then, following that, the next week, we'll have the anime back. Sound good? Well, excellent. Also, Stefan said, by the way, did you see at the end of this panel, Loki ripping the bear's head off? Just wanted to make sure because that was insane. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what are you talking about? Hold on. The final panel? Where do you see that? You see Loki falling down, Loki climbing up the tree, climbing. Uh-huh. It's small. Wait, where? Where does he rip a bear's head off? I'm not... Oh! Middle bottom of page 17. I didn't even realize that's what I was looking at. From birth, he's that strong? Yeah, because you see the whole thing in silhouette and you see the winds moving. Oh, whoa. Dude, Loki is going to be a beast. When we actually see him fully fleshed out, he is going to be an absolute beast. Whoa. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's an important detail. Also, thank you, by the way, whoever just subscribed. I can't see it on my stream, but thank you very, very much, whoever just subscribed over on Twitch. Nakama. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up here. Review, reaction, everything will be up in just a second over on the stream. Thank you all for tuning in live. Again, 9 a.m. next week. Triple live reaction to the anime. We're going to wrap up the Kuma flashback. And then the week after, 9 a.m., same time, is when we're going to start moving the One Piece manga chapters too. Fantastic. So thank you all once again for coming through the stream. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Nakama!